Hi, today I'm going to read Mog The Forgetful Cat by Judith Kerr. It's one of my favourites. Once there was a cat called Mog, and she lived with a family called Thomas. Mr. Thomas, Mrs. Thomas, Debbie and Nicky Thomas. Mog was nice but not very clever. She didn't understand a lot of things. A lot of other things she forgot. She was a very forgetful cat. Sometimes she ate her supper. Then she forgot that she had eaten it. Sometimes she thought of something in the middle of washing her leg. Then she forgot to wash the rest of it. Once she forgot that cats can't fly. But most of all, she forgot her cat flap. The cat flap led from the garden into the kitchen, and Mog could go out and in again. It was her own little door. The garden always made Mog very excited. She smelled all the smells, she chased the birds, she climbed the trees, she ran round and round with a big fluffed up tail. And then she forgot the cat flap. She forgot she had a cat flap. She wanted to go back into the house, but she couldn't remember how. So in the end, she sat outside the kitchen window and meowed, meow, meow, until someone let her in. Afterwards, you could always tell where she'd sat. This made Mr. Thomas feel very sad. He said, "Bother that cat." But Debbie said, "She's nice." Once Mog had a very bad day. Even the start of the day was bad. Mog was still asleep, and Nicky picked her up. He hugged her and he said, "Nice kitty." Mog said nothing, but she was not happy. Then it was breakfast time. Mog forgot that cats have milk for breakfast. She forgot that cats only have eggs as a treat. She ate an egg for her breakfast. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said, "Nicky doesn't really like eggs anyway." Mog looked through the cat flap. It was raining in the garden. Mog thought perhaps the sun will be shining in the street. When the milkman came, she ran out. The milkman shut the door. The sun was not shining in the street after all. It was raining. A big dog came down the street, and Mog ran, and the dog ran too. Mog ran right round the house, and the dog ran after her. She climbed over the fence. She ran through the garden. She jumped up outside the kitchen window and meowed a big meow, very sudden and very loud. Mrs. Thomas said, "Oh, bother that cat." And look, she got such a big fright, she spilt all her cooking. And Debbie said that wasn't her fault. Mog was very sleepy. She found a nice, warm, soft place and went to sleep. She had a lovely dream. Mog dreamed that she had wings. She could fly everywhere. She could fly faster than the birds, even quite big birds. But suddenly she woke up. Oh no, where was she sleeping? Do you see where she was sleeping on top of? Looks like she might be squashing Mummy's hat. Uh-oh. Whoops. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said, "Well, I think you look nicer without a hat." Debbie gave Mog her supper and Mog ate it all up. Then Debbie and Nicky went to bed. Mog had a rest too. Top of the TV. But Mr. Thomas wanted to see the boxing on TV. Mr. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Mog thought, "Oh, nobody likes me." But then she thought, Debbie likes me. Debbie's door was open. Debbie's bed was warm. Debbie's hair was soft like kitten fur. Mog forgot that Debbie was not a kitten. Debbie had a dream. It was a bad dream. It was a dream about a tiger. The tiger wanted to eat Debbie. He was licking her hair. Debbie shouted, "Ah!" Mog jumped. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother, bother, bother that cat." Debbie said nothing. She was still crying. Oh, 'cause she had a bad dream. Mog ran out of the room and right through the house and out of her cat flap. She was very scared. The garden was dark. The house was dark too. Mog sat in the dark and thought dark thoughts. She thought, nobody likes me. They've all gone to bed. There's no one to let me in. They haven't even given me my supper. But then she noticed something. The house was not quite dark. There was a little light moving about. She looked through the window and she saw a man in the kitchen. Mog thought, perhaps that man will let me in. Perhaps he will give me my supper. Is that man meant to be in their house? I think he might be a robber. Oh dear. She meowed her biggest meow. Meow! Very, very sudden and very, very loud. The man was surprised. He dropped his bag. Crash! It made a big noise, and everybody in the house woke up. Mr. Thomas ran down to the kitchen and shouted, "A burglar!" The burglar said, "Bother that cat." Mrs. Thomas telephoned the police. Debbie let Mog in and Nicky hugged her. The policeman came and they told him what had happened. The policeman looked at Mog and said, "What a remarkable cat. I've seen watchdogs, but I've never seen a watch cat. She'll get a medal." Debbie said, "I think she'd probably rather have an egg." Mog had a medal. She also had an egg every day for breakfast. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas told all their friends about her. They said, "Mog is really remarkable." And they never, or almost never, said, "Bother that cat." To Mog for bravery. Thank you for reading with me today. Bye.